Hi everyone, Concy here from atop Serenity Hill. Today I'm going to share with you two of my favorite mini journals that I like to make for art journaling, where it keeps it really simple, and especially if you're new to art journaling or want to get back into it, rekindle your art journaling practice, or if you are traveling and want to keep something really simple and small with you, these two journals are really easy to make and can hold enough for a week away, or just to restart or start a challenge maybe for a week or two to get your habit started again. So the two journals that I'm going to show you, one is, they're both made with a single piece of paper. One is folded like a zine, which is this. So a zine is usually made from, well, it's not usually made, but it is a single piece of paper. A lot of people use like printer paper, which is what this size that I have in my hand is, 8.5 by 11 printer paper that is folded up, and it creates 8 sides for you to use as a little booklet. And you can see that this one is all done in collage and some stamping, and I've used it as an inspiration journal so that you could even make this and send it as a greeting card to someone, maybe as a birthday present or someone who's having a hard time. And the good thing about this is that you can decorate it. It opens up. This one opens up, so you can see you could decorate the sheet, and then when you fold it up, then you can start playing with the inside, or even leave it blank. This one could be for adding some photos here, especially if it was like a vacation or a trip of some description. You could add a photo and then a description of what the photo was there. This one I did so that it actually had lined pages in it, so it could be done as a daily journal. So maybe something that you take to your job that sits on your desk, and you spend a couple minutes maybe every morning, or when you're having, one of those mental breakdowns and you just need a minute to just jot down some journaling. So you can always create it as a journaling piece. This one, you can see I have actually written where they all are, because as I was teaching it to a group, it was easier for them to see where the front and the back was and everything. And this one covers collage, stenciling, doodling, watercolor, colored pencils. This is a variety of mixed media that created this zine. And then again, I've left some spaces that I could add a quote to, or just a single word if you like to have single word intentions. So this one, I'm going to show you when I'm done running through these how to fold them. So that one is a zine. These are, again, a single piece of paper, but they're done as kind of an accordion fold. And these are the journals. These 4 are part of a free mini class that I offer, which you can find the link below, and I'll put there's a video description of it right here. And so it's, again, single piece of printer paper that you fold up, and you end up with this way with 12 different pages. And this one I did, again, all collage and just a simple saying. And I usually, with these, the way that they fold up, it helps to put some kind of cover on it. And there's cover choices in the free mini class, and printables and everything. So if getting back into art journaling, or again, going on a trip and just need something quick, that mini class has all the printables you need to just dive in. So this one has a variety of different styles going through it. Just depended what I felt like doing that day. Doodling and collage. This is just colored pencil. Some stamping. I believe that's bubble wrap. And then I just doodled around it. So super simple. This one is what it looks like when it's blank. So the printable comes with these actual borders on it, so that you have, it kind of helps with the blank page. You have a little section to contain your ideas in. Again, this is another one that you can create your own cover for. Right. And then these are also done the same way, but these are done with a giant sheet that I jelly printed. just randomly, and then when you fold it up, you end up with this awesome background material and, you know, background pages to work with, and then another jelly print as a cover. And this one I have actually did a little bit, I've worked in it just a tiny bit, but I used whatever the jelly print was, and all I did was really just doodle around it and emphasize with some colored pencil. So again, this is a way of jelly printing your background, or using some kind of paper, maybe under paper that you have, that you can fold up and use. Okay, so how we fold, I'm going to start with the zine. I just grabbed a piece of 8.5 by 11 scrapbook paper that I had that I might not use for anything else specifically. And this is also a way for you to start the zine with something in the background. So I wouldn't necessarily use this patriotic or, you know, Americana, however you want to describe it, paper in my work, but it would make a great background to start with. I could just start adding stuff on top of it. So you start with 8.5 by 11, and we fold it what we call, or what I call, because I was taught by someone who teaches it to children, but hamburger. So fat end to fat end. And if you have a bone folder, that's helpful. Okay. Fold it open, or open it, don't fold it open, open the fold. And then you're going to fold it hot dog, so long end to long end. All right, and then I'm going to open it back up again, and I'm going to fold in the hamburger to the center on both sides. Okay. So when you're done, you end up with 8 sections. And that's what I was saying, this is perfect for a week away. You could have a title. So if I was to pull one of these out, you could put a title for your trip, and then you could do 7 days, a little bit of journaling or collage to commemorate the trip that you're taking. Okay, so once I'm here, I'm going to fold it back into the hamburger. And this is the fold, this is the opening down here, and you're going to cut or rip from here to the center. So just along this fold towards the opening, from the fold to the center, okay? And I'm just going to use a pair of scissors. You could use an X-Acto knife. You could even rip it if it's, I've ripped it, because if you don't mind that it's not super straight, ripping it's fine. So when you end up with this, okay, so then I've got my hole in the center. I'm going to push it together. I just like to lay it down. So I push it together and I grab one of, I usually in my left hand because I'm righty. I'm going to lay it down and I'm going to start folding the pages over to the right, because the very last one needs a little bit of adjustment to the fold that you've created. Okay, flip it over, and now you have your little zine. Okay, and you can work on it. And then again, I have this as a background that I can work with. Okay, so this is our zine, and then you can use for the book that looks like this one, it's an accordion fold. I'm going to use a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper again. The reason being is that then I have something as a base. So kind of like using the jelly print here, now I have something that I can start with, okay? So what I want you to do is we're going to fold the 12 by 12, and you can do this one with an 8.5 by 11 as well, the same exact folds that I'm about to do. It's just that sometimes it helps to have a number that you can divide by 3 or 4 very easily. Okay, so I'm dividing it in half, and then I'm going to fold those in. And fold this in again. So on one side, I'm folding it in half, and then both of those in half. So you end up with 4 sections. Okay, so I've got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, on this side, on the other side, I'm going to fold it in thirds. So this is what I was saying. It helps to, they're having a 12 by 12 as opposed to 8.5 by 11, which then you have to divide up, and that math makes my head hurt. So I'm going to do, and you could divide it into 4, but I'm going to divide it into 3. So 3 4s, so 4, 8, and 12. And it would help if I can actually see this. So I'm going to do it on the other side too. This side's going to be on the inside, so it doesn't matter if there is pencil lines on the inside because it's going to disappear. All right. So fold this in. And then I'm going to flip it over and fold this in. So with this, doing it 4 on one side, 4 folds on one side, 3 folds on the other, you end up with 12. You're going to end up with 12 sections, okay? So now what we have to do is we need to be able to accordion fold it. So you're going to cut, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 sections here, okay? You're going to cut all the way up to right before the 4th section, this way, and then you're going to go the opposite, and you're going to go all the way down before the 4th section here, all right? And I just want to, I'm going to crease that really well so I can see it as I'm cutting. Actually going to cut on the back because the pencil is throwing me slightly visually because I didn't make it even. So I'm going up 3 and stopping right before the 4th. Okay, so you can see like that. And then I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to go on this side. I'm going to fold that again really well. And I'm going to cut, so you can see this side is not cut, so I'm starting on the side that, on the opposite. And you can use an X-Acto and a metal ruler to cut this even if you want to. I am not about perfection. I'm about playing in curiosity and just having a good time, trying stuff out. If it doesn't work, it's just paper, which is delightful. Okay, so now you end up with like this crazy upside down N, if you think about it that way. Okay, so we're going to flip it so that the colored side is up, and then we're going to start folding. So fold in, then back, fold in, and then you go backwards behind the center, fold in, back, in, and then backwards behind the bottom, in, back, and in, okay? And then you have your little journal, and so each of the pages is now got color on it, and you can put a cover on the outside. So one of the things that I do is you don't want, it does fall apart, so you can go back. It's up to you. If you want it to be that you could decorate the back and you could have it all loose, but in order to have it more like how this is all contained, you can see it doesn't open. I go in and glue everything that I don't want to decorate. So this section, and you know, you can use glue stick, you can use matte medium, double-sided tape, whatever works. Whatever you have on hand. Again, keep it simple. All right, so now that will hold that closed. Then you have this section that folds down. And I'm going to glue that up. Gonna keep going. This one is opening backwards. And you can see why the pencil didn't matter, because you end up gluing all of them together. So I've glued that. This opens. I'm gonna glue that. If this is the first time you make one, sometimes it does help to make one that has a color on one side, because then you can see what side you want up, what side is the glued side. So all the white is being glued and all the green is not. Okay, so now it doesn't fall apart. And I'm just going to grab something to glue as a cover. Okay, so I have this piece of jelly print that I made, and I'm just going to trim it. And I'm going to glue. And you can cut it if you want ahead of time, but I find it easier to trim it after, because that way I know I always have enough. Okay. I am going to trim two sides though. I like to use up as much of my stuff as possible. So if I'm going to glue it down, I don't want to trim off everything. All right. So that's enough. And this is just a jelly print on a piece of magazine, as you can see. So a little glue. Line that up. And then I'm going to put glue. I don't put any glue on the back side just because I want it to be able to flex as I need to. All right, and then I'm just going to flip it over so that it's tightly on there. See, that way you have some excess in there to flex. If you glued it on, it might hinder the book from opening. So you want to give it some bit of flexibility. Okay. So with this one, with the zine, you don't need a cover because it is folded. The way it's folded gives it a really clean edge. But with this zigzag book, it does help to put a cover on it because it holds everything together and it gives it a nicer edge like that. So now I have this beautiful green little zigzag book that I can play with. And so this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 pages. So 2 weeks. If you give yourself a daily-ish practice and not worry too much about every day, you got a 2-week practice. So there is all your versions of mini journals that you can play with. I hope it gives you some ideas to start art journaling or rekindle or take it into a trip. That's usually a good space to use these in. And I would love to hear how you're using them. You can comment below. I'd love that. If you're new to me, please subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. All of that helps. And I will see you in another video. Thanks, friends.